Good morning everyone, hello and welcome to another AZ Off-Road adventure. We are on our way out on another ride right now, our second of the year, and we are heading east, which is something we don't do very often actually. We live on the west side of town, so we typically ride out west or up north where the trails are a little bit closer, but we're trying to mix in some new trails around, including on the east side of the valley. So in just a little bit we will be at the staging area where we'll have a little bit more info on what we're doing today and what we're planning on seeing, so stick with us. We have made it out here to Queen Valley and Hewitt Station Road at the start of Montana Mountain Trail. This is a trail that has been on our radar for quite a few years now, and we're looking forward to finally being able to run it here today on our second ride on our brand new ATV. So the plan for today is to start here at this beautifully constructed staging area. There's actually a lot of great places to stage on the way in, and we'll be heading up Hewitt Canyon Road. The trail is supposed to be real scenic along that section before climbing up and into the Tonto National Forest, and we'll get up to an elevation of about 5,300 feet today. So we'll plan on doing some scenic stuff first, grab some lunch up on top of the mountain, and then head back down a fun switchback section before checking out an old mining cabin on the way back down to the staging area. So lots to do today, lots of trail to cover. We're really excited about finally being able to do this trail and try out something new. So we are just about ready to roll here. We'll be back with an update a little ways up the trail. So just a quick update, we are about 8 miles in on the trail and we just passed through what was a really incredible canyon area along the first few miles of trail. Very scenic, large rock spires on either side of the trail, and just incredible scenery. Also on the way in on Hewitt Station Road a ways back, a lot of people out shooting, so just to keep an eye out for that when you come out. But we are beginning to climb now through some pretty thick saguaros here, and before too long we will be a lot higher and hopefully a little bit cooler. It's actually a tad warm already. I think the high for today is supposed to be in the low 90s, so getting up into the forest will be a much welcome relief. We should be up there pretty quick after a rapid climb on this really scenic section. We have now made it onto Forest Road 650 now, and we actually found this real nice stopping point to grab some lunch right around the 15-mile mark. So on the way up, nothing real difficult, pretty smooth, high clearance trail most of the way. We also passed quite a few hiking trailheads that head off into the Superstition Wilderness, and we actually crossed the Arizona Trail at one point, but this view up here is absolutely incredible. Everything is so green, and if you look way out in the distance to the south, you can actually see the town of Superior. That is how close we actually are to it. And just incredible views off to the east and north as well. And our PB&J sandwiches have definitely seen better days, but hey, it's a nice little meal, especially when you have a view like this to enjoy it with. So when we're done here with our lunch, we will begin our descent back down into the desert, where we'll be able to check out an old mining cabin along the trail. Alright, we're back on the trail now, just a few miles from our lunch stop, and the trail has gotten instantly more scenic. Incredible views, it's pretty steep drop-offs, but nevertheless, very scenic section. We're actually heading down this real windy section of switchbacks that will take us from the nice cool mountains back down into the desert terrain. This section of trail is not the most difficult part so far, but definitely requires some serious focus. And remember too that this trail, because of the high elevation, can get snow and ice in the winter, so you definitely don't want to be on this section if that is the case. So just a little ways more now, you can actually see the cabin that we're going to be stopping at. We will be down there very soon. Okay, and we have made it down the switchbacks, and just a little ways off the main road we found this old cabin. Now there does seem to be some evidence of mining on the hills further up this little valley that we're in, and there's also a windmill and water tank on site. So it suggests that there was some pretty good activity going on here sometime in the past. The cabins themselves are pretty well built actually. There is actually two separate structures. The primary one is definitely in better shape, as you can see. The roof has fallen in, but the walls appear to be very solid even today. I'm not sure how old this is, because I'm not really sure on the story behind this building or mine. Unfortunately, there isn't any published information that I could find on this specific site, but definitely a significant structure that makes for a cool stop. From what I was able to find online, other mines in this area north of Highway 60 were producing gold, silver, copper, and even some iron from as early as the 1900s into the 1980s. And that's likely when this structure was being used, sometime in that time frame. Definitely some mining evidence on site here. In fact, today Superior is actually a very active mining town. And the railroad we parked next to at the staging area a while back is actually called the Magma Line, and was once used to haul ore from the mines to the smelters. So anyways, very cool stop here. The trail is definitely getting a little bit rockier and a little bit rougher, but we should be back down to Hewitt Station Road here in just a bit. If you plan on riding this trail as a loop like we are doing, you have to be aware that a section of Hewitt Station Road, which is also known as Forest Road 357, is closed to the public. That's definitely something new in the past couple of years that you may not have heard about. The road that connects both ends of the Montana Mountain Loop Trail, because of too much dust, the residents have decided to cut off public access. So kind of a bummer, but it doesn't shut down the trail completely because there is a way you can still make a loop out of it. All you need to do is head west on 357 and then make a hard right onto Forest Road 252. You're going to cross the railroad tracks and keep following 252 as you head west. You'll actually eventually pass through the Bomboy Mine area. Not a whole lot left to see there, but it will take you through there before reconnecting with Hewitt Canyon Road to get back to the staging area. So if you're doing a loop, it is still possible, just a little bit longer and slower than before. But if you're in a Jeep or SUV or something, you're able to actually hop directly on Highway 60 at the east end of the trail. Either way, it's a great loop, very scenic, and you just need to make sure you take a look at the informational signs and maps that are posted at the staging area, just so you know which way you're going for sure. So just a little over 40 miles later, we have made it back to the staging area where we started off this morning. Overall, this was an incredible trail through a very scenic part of the Queen Valley Superior area. Lots to check out on the trail. There is some hiking, plenty of great camping spots, a little bit of old historic stuff to check out in that old cabin we stopped at, and a whole lot of neat scenery as well. So you're not going to be bored on this trail. You're up and down through the terrain very quickly, very fun trail, and it's not overly difficult either. There's definitely a few rocky sections, a few steep sections where high clearance is definitely going to be a must for the whole loop. Four-wheel drive is definitely recommended. We're going to pack everything up here and head back home, but overall, another great ride in the books. If you want more info on this trail, definitely head to the link in the description for Montana Mountain Trail. It will have detailed directions as well as additional photos, KMZ tracks, and GPX waypoints, all for free, so that if you are planning on coming out yourself, you can know what you're in for and know where to go. Otherwise, thanks for watching this video, and we look forward to being back out on the trail again here in the near future.